Hey guys, and welcome to 20s in Transit with
Zhenia,
Nourhan,
Kim,
Yassmin, Rachel. Enjoy!
Hey guys, welcome back to 20s in Transit. This is our second episode, and the new voice you're hearing is me. I'm Zhenia. I'm an international student in London. I'm studying with the rest of the hosts. I'm also doing journalism, politics, and history. What else? How else do I introduce myself? I'm 20. I'm going to be turning 21 this year, so I'm exactly in this demographic. And there's another new host.
Hi guys, so I'm Yassmin. I am also 20, just turned 20 as of a month ago, and I am a study abroad student here for a semester, and then I'm shipped back to the US.
We also have two seasoned hosts with us, so...
call the chiropractor, I'm back. It's Kim. I was here last time. I'm here this time. I will be here next time.
And it's me, it's Rachel. I'm back. And I want to clear something up before we start, please.
Really important.
May I? Because in the first episode, while I was trying to explain that my style of journalism, it very much leans into arts and entertainment, but
Yeah, you said you're not political.
Saying that, I was like, yeah, I'm just really unpolitical. Deeply not true. I voted. I vote.
She's political, guys.
I'm political,
Don't get it
guys.
wrong. Don't
hey,
get it wrong.
Stop getting it twisted. I'm really political, guys. If you have any political questions, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So today's
Hi.
episode is all about dating. So really juicy topic to start. We're going to be talking about dating in uni, dating in 20s, dating in this big, busy city. Let's start off with talking about what does dating mean to us? What does it look like? What's the goal? If there is a goal, what do we think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a relationship right now.
Oh yeah,
So-
everyone say your relationship status. Call you out. Come on, guys.
Single, maybe perhaps talking.
Ooh.
I'm married with 3 kids. I'm kidding. No. Single. Yeah.
Ooh. Happily single? That sounded really flat.
No, I mean,
Miserable.
no. Okay, no.
Old
I'm miserable.
hack.
I like being alone, but not like in a sad way. Because I think
that's a great thing.
yeah, I think a lot of people assume single it means you're unhappy. But single, talking, not talking, I think it's a very fluctuating thing. But I think there's no label, therefore, single as of now. We'll see where shit goes. Yeah.
I'm happily single. Just out here.
That was really tame. I'm happily single.
You know me.
So pretty. What a pretty girl.
I love me. Self-love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was starting to answer. Anyway, so I'm in a relationship right now. We're happy. Life is good. And I would like to be with that person for as long as the relationship's good. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm 22. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not where's my ring? He's a bit older than me. He's quite a lot older than me. He's about 10 years older than me. So we are in different life stages. And that is, I think, it's a very common experience, especially for women in their 20s to be dating someone much older.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that later, girl.
Yeah.
It's something that you have to check in with each other about what your relationship means to you both individually before you're like in it, because some people are just dating because they want someone to cook dinner for them, but some people,
I think there's this culture that you need to be in a relationship in your 20s, that you need to have a boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, because if you don't, you're doing something wrong. And a lot of my friends, I speak with them and I'm like, it's so cool, like you're in a relationship, like how's it going and everything, and they just don't seem that happy. And my first question is, why are you still here? Well, because I want a boyfriend, because you do all these things, you want, like you said, someone to cook you dinner, you want someone to go to the movies with, and I'm like, that's so true, but you actually need to like the person and you need to be happy. So I think that's a big generational thing now, not necessarily an age thing maybe.
Yeah, I mean, something that my partner and I decided on was to be consciously monogamous. So the idea behind that is to find someone, you like them, you end up with them because that's what you do.
Yeah.
But we decided to be like, okay, we're dating. What do we want to do with that? Do we want to be together? So let's choose to be together, not just slide into what you were just describing.
Yeah, you're not doing it for convenience sake. You're not doing it just because you feel like you have to. You're doing it because you want to, because the alternative is be single and be happy. But if you're happier with the other person, that's the first reason why you date them, not because you have to date them.
I feel like
adding
the
something.
worst reason to get into a relationship is for the sake of being in a relationship. Like if you're only looking for a partner in the hopes of not being single, like that's your end goal, then that's just bound to end in failure, because it sets this really dangerous precedent of just like the bare relationship. Your end goal is a relationship, and then
It's not about the person.
Anything after
Yeah.
that is whatever, because you're in a relationship. So
Yeah.
why would that impact your initial vision for
Yeah.
what it is? Like it should always be more than that, and you need to be comfortable
Yeah.
with yourself, and you need to be comfortable with the person before any sort of like romantic relationship is broached.
So what do we think about dating in London at this age and kind of meeting people in real life, meeting people online, friendship first, romantic first?
I was going to say for you two, East Coast of America, how is it different?
I mean, for me at least, so I'm queer. Surprise. So basically,
Surprise, got ya.
only like women. Sorry, men. But I
So
think
yeah, how do you identify?
I'm a lesbian.
Love.
Thank you. But I think there's very much a hookup culture, like just not serious, or like people just jump in to just like hook up and that's it. There's never like a relationship in mind. And at least for London, I think it's very much more like people here are like more relationship than in like Jersey City where I'm from. How you feel, like New York City.
New York City.
Well, growing up in New York, this was between the ages of like 12 to 16.
Okay.
So this was before I'd fully developed into myself and my sexuality and what I was comfortable with and what I was looking for in another person. Well, I dated. I had a girlfriend for a time, but it was at that stage where neither of us really knew what that meant.
It's like a proper first
Right.
And it was
relationship
just-
where you're like,
yeah.
I'm in this for the sake of saying
Yeah.
I
I
had
just,
Well, it's
I
just
had a
hanging out.
relationship,
Yeah.
and they were
Yeah.
just like a person who I'd kiss
you-
sometimes.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah. No, and then it
Wait.
didn't really amount. Like once we realized it was over, it was a very like it was just a realization. It wasn't like some grand revelation or
Yeah.
shock. It was just like the stakes of us being together weren't that high in the first place.
Yeah.
And like it
that's so
was
true.
fine. And I've seen her again after that, going back to the city and like growing up now. She's got a long-term boyfriend now, and it's been very normal. And I think it's
Yeah.
something we can both kind of laugh over.
You
because
realize you're better off as friends.
neither of us knew what we were doing
Yeah.
as a partner at that
Yeah.
age.
Mm.
So coming into your 20s and like especially in big cities where there's so many
So
people.
is it different? Is it different in London?
I don't know if it's different in London. I can't speak to the exact experience because I am 4 years older than I was now. So obviously I don't have the same outlook on it or the same approach. And having gone back to New York
Yeah,
since
that's
I've been
so
here,
true, actually.
I haven't really gotten the chance to look into a relationship because
Because
I
you
will,
live here.
I will be
and-
leaving
yeah.
again in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't really look for any sort of romantic entanglements while I'm in New York.
Yeah,
Okay,
because I
that's
mean,
so
long
true.
distance, especially that type
Oh.
of long distance, can
blows,
be-
man.
Yeah.
I am such an anti-long distance
Me too.
person. I can't do it. Like,
Why would I?
no.
No, because I genuinely feel in a relationship you have needs that need to be met. And everyone says, needs, that means sex. It's like, no, you have like
Dinner.
emotional, dinner. You have emotional, physical
Like
needs.
quality time.
You need a hug.
You're just in it for the food, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hey, well, maybe that's why I'm
Dinner.
single.
Honestly feel whenever I see, not always, but most of the time when I see people in long distance relationships are so fundamentally separate. What does this
Yeah.
relationship even mean? Texting and calling. What is that? What is that?
I
Slip
know
through the
people who
cracks and
make
they can
it
do
work.
it.
Yeah, I know people, quite a bit of my high school friends actually. They they start dating in like our couple final years in high school and now they're in uni, so second year of uni. So people are coming up on their second year anniversaries, third year anniversaries. And I see the toll that it's taking on them. Like, obviously, FaceTime and visits every 2 to 3 months. Even though I realize it's not for me and I don't think I'd do it, I'm really proud of them for doing it because I know, and I've spoken with them, that like the minute I see that it's not beneficial to you, I will tell you. Like if I see that you're struggling in this relationship and you're suffering from the long distance, I will tell you from an outside perspective, and you
Yeah.
do with it what you want to do with it. So like, I think people that are in long distance relationships that make it work, I think it's always up to them of like,
So much respect for them as well.
exactly, that's what I
crazy.
was trying to say. Like, it's respect, but I think at the same time, there's always a fine line between I'm in it because I've been in it and I'm in it because it's working.
Yeah.
So
I feel like there's also like a very fine line between like online dating and like long distance. I'm so against online dating because what do you mean you've never met?
interesting.
I was like, what do you mean you've never
Oh wait,
met?
you mean like online
like
proper
you meet,
dating?
like online dating.
Oh,
Like
Oh.
I thought you
more
meant
common
dating
in America.
That is
not
so
very
common.
common in the UK.
One of my
Yeah,
friends,
crazy.
actually, she's online dating with someone from England, and I'm like, you're in New Jersey. What do you mean?
Why?
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 She's like, because we were at like a party, and she goes, oh yeah, he just asked me on FaceTime to be his, like,
To be his
girlfriend.
girlfriend?
and I'm like, what do you mean you're his girlfriend? You've never met him.
God, it's dystopia. I just
Yeah,
can't.
I think at that point it's genuinely fulfilling that loneliness of like I want a good night text from someone that's
Yeah.
not my mom.
I
know?
also feel like it's emotional avoidance. They want to be in a relationship but not have all of the admin and be held accountable for all of the nitty gritty of actually being in an in-person
Yeah.
relationship. Like, my partner lives an hour and a half away from me. And London is so big. I live right in the north of London. He lives right in the south of London. It's long. I always have food going mouldy in my fridge. He always has food going mouldy in his fridge because we're at one of our houses. There's like annoying admin that you have to like get
Yeah.
past, and like really long tube rides in the middle of the night for like what reason? But you've committed and you've decided that this is what you want to do, and it's benefiting you more than it's, you know, negatively.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes I feel that interim space is actually important
It
in some
builds.
way, because I think it's really easy at maybe a younger age, in your late teens, early 20s, to very naturally slide into codependence.
Yeah.
Especially in London, I think.
Yeah,
because
I've had
Yeah.
2 long-term partners. The first one lived in a different city to me, so not too far away, like 45 minutes. And we'd have to actively plan when we wanted to see each other to make it work with school schedules and just like life. I couldn't just go over to her and show up. We'd have to hash it out. I have to make sure she was there so that I wouldn't just be in a random city
Yeah,
with nobody
yeah.
there when I showed
Yeah.
up. But I think
Just hanging out with her parents.
I think that's actually oh, shout out her dog. I miss you, Cosmo. I think it's important to have kind of a barrier so that you don't only know how to exist alongside each other.
Yeah.
the
Personal
start,
space is
yeah.
important.
I think, especially like coming into it, I think a
Yeah.
precedent has to be set where you can both, it's very easy to lose oneself in a relationship, I feel like.
Oh my God, yes.
So I feel
massively.
like something like
yeah.
that could definitely help at the start as like, just like a buffer to getting back into sharing your life so thoroughly with another person.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a very big issue today because a lot of people I know will like get into a relationship and just cut off themselves from like the real world, cut their friends off. You know, it's just my boyfriend, my boyfriend, my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
like you need to have a balance.
How do you feel it translates for your part of the queer community? Because lesbians have a reputation.
there's a precedent.
You all lesbians.
Oh my God, you all, yes.
Second day moving.
I can confirm it is true.
Oh my God, the rumors are true.
The rumors are true. Literally, this girl I'm talking to now, she's like, yeah, we're going to get married. I was like, girl, I just met you.
That's a lot. That's
Yes.
a lot. So what are your thoughts on that? Are you like, this is love bombing or this is cute?
Most of the time, it's love bombing.
Yeah.
It is cute. But
But also,
okay.
it's love
Love bombing is cute. Okay, we established that.
as long as
Love.
it continues, question mark.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I think love bombing is different than giving like that love and attention, because love bombing is doing it
And
only
taking
for a
it
short
away.
period of
Yeah.
time
Time,
and
and
then
then-
dropping it.
yes.
It's not love bombing if it sustains.
If it continues, yeah.
Yeah.
If it continues, it's
then
fine.
it's just love.
Then
Yeah,
it's
then
just
love.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to talk about how you meet people in London. So, Rachel, how'd you meet your partner?
We actually met in person, which we're very, very smug about. So
I would be too,
smug.
yeah.
Bragging. We met at work,
Okay.
which is still, I think, fairly common. But yeah, we both work in the same field. He's a theatre producer and I was working at a theatre. And he was producing a show
Nice.
there. So we met, and then we met another time, and then we met another time. And then he was like,
You're cute.
And then I was like, can I have your email? It was really weird. Like,
oh my god.
it was really weird and like formal. And that was in 2023. Yeah.
That's cute. I think-
and it worked out.
Yeah, meeting in person is definitely like bragging rights are so respected there, because I feel like in London now, maybe it's just from my experience, but meeting online and then you have to explain how you met to your parents. It's like, yeah, I'm on these dating apps and it's like window shopping, but for people. And you see your parents' eyes like go
Like,
up
what?
because they met in real life like 30 years ago.
Yeah, at
So,
university, the big one.
yeah.
Yeah, you just got to be really bold, I think, is like the thing that a lot of Gen Z aren't.
Yes.
I started it. I was very bold. He's a millennial. I was like, poke, poke, hey. Hey, how are you? I want to hang out. Like, I was the one to
Let me get your
initiate
email.
it. Yeah, let me get that email.
Like, emailed, like, hey, like, think you're cute. Wanna
Yeah.
grab
You have to
coffee?"
sign off sincerely, Rachel.
Yeah.
Best.
No, I literally did like best Rachel Andrews, like full
Ooh.
name drop. But yeah, I always just say be bold, be bold, be bold. Embarrass yourself. Obviously, don't harass anyone, but you should know that line anyway.
Yeah,
But,
if you're dating, period.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's how we met. But I've met a lot of people online as well.
Yeah. What do we think about dating apps? No go, yes, we like, we don't.
Oof. Depends on the day. Depends on the day.
Oh
Yeah,
my
depends
God.
on the app.
Depends on the app. What do you think, Zhenia?
Wow, I'm really on spot here. Okay, so in London, I think like it's such a big part, at least of my experience, like dating apps. Everyone's like, put yourself out there. That's how you meet people. Obviously, you have the pool of university, you have the pool of your hobbies, but a big thing in our age is dating apps because you meet people from other universities, you meet people from other parts of London, blah blah blah. I've had a rocky road there because I've mentioned before, it's window shopping, and I'm not sure that's something I'm very into. Like, obviously looks are an important part, but I think a person is so much more attractive to me when I get to meet them. Like, yeah, if I meet like the cutest guy online and then his personality is so fucking boring,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're not cute anymore. But if I
Yeah.
meet 6 out of 10, maybe he can be an 8 out of 10. I don't know, maybe if he's
Agree.
funny, which doesn't really happen. But so I think with dating apps, it's a trial and error. I've met some great people that I'm actually friends with. You go on this date and you vibe with them, but you're like, there's no romantic spark.
Yeah.
Let's just stay in contact. Let's just be like that. And that's fine. I've had some horrible dates where it's just because people are horny and, like that.
And like, did you find they're like rushing through the date because they're like,
They're not even, yeah. And I just feel like they don't show up there to talk. And I'm like, well,
well, why
that's
are we
what,
here?
yeah, why are you here? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if you wanted something, you'd go through a different avenue,
Yeah.
not
Or
me.
just be
What's-
like clear.
What's the quickest time you've cut out of a date in? Have you had to
I
drop out
think
like mad early?
My fastest date was like under an hour because like we
Oh
showed
my
up. He lied about his
Speed run.
height.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
How
That-
much
that's the big
did he
one.
lie?
Like a good 10 centimeters. And like for me, it's like I'm quite tall. Just let the
I think
audience
that's
know.
like 3 inches.
For the Europeans, yeah.
For
What's
the
happening?
I think
Hold
that's
on.
about 3 inches.
Yeah.
3,
So
4 inches. So it's no small.
yeah, I'm quite tall, and I feel like it's not
Damn.
necessarily a deal breaker, but it's an important thing for me because I come from a very
Well,
tall
just don't
family.
lie.
Yeah, exactly.
If,
That's the
you
thing.
can date someone shorter than you.
Yeah,
Just don't
but
lie.
just don't lie about it. So it's really awkward when I met him and I'm like, wait, this you? Because clearly I was not expecting this. And then I think that kind of set us off on the wrong foot and then had one drink and I was like, I got a project to finish. Have to go back. Please don't walk me home. Go away.
Good.
But like, I think it's more embarrassing for him.
No, it's good to leave. If you're not vibing, don't waste your time.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you guys? Shortest date?
Shortest date.
Or do you do dating apps a lot? You don't.
I don't use dating apps like that.
ever.
Well, like, no, like, me and my friends will, like, get on it and we'll, like, swipe as, like, a joke.
Like a
And then,
game,
like,
yeah.
Well, it's, like, I open, like, Tinder every, like, 4 months on rotation.
It's
and
like Pokemon.
And I, like, swipe, and then I, like, delete the app, and then I, like, re-download
Yeah.
it, and then I, like, look at the messages, and I'm like, wow, guys, this is so... But I've never
Cute.
used it seriously.
Oh, never ever.
No.
Okay.
Like, never, like, went on a date. I don't know. I feel like everyone on there just is looking for one thing.
On
Yeah.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Oh, on Tinder, definitely.
Yeah. On
The
Hinge
the
too, I
apps
think.
do. I think now the Hinge.
Yeah.
I was on Hinge like properly like 2 years ago, and you can tell if someone's just looking for sex.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
can tell. You can tell. And if they're not, then just go on
Yeah,
a few
go for
dates.
them.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Kim?
Which question?
Do you date like that?
Do you get on dating apps?
I've been on and off Hinge for like the better part of a year, and like the weird thing is you just actively you gotta hate being on it Like,
Yeah.
you gotta hate
Isn't that
everything
their
about
whole
it.
marketing
Exhausting.
thing? That like it's an app that's meant to be deleted. I think.
Yeah,
That's
but,
their,
they're-
like,
but that's a
slogan.
lie because like they're not gonna make any profit if you delete it. So
No,
they'll,
but you would re-download it. That's
they'll
the
tell
thing.
it. They'll tell it to you. But like the end goal ultimately is as a marketable app. It's to make a profit. So
Yeah.
they're not algorithming it to give you the
But
benefit
they
of the
would,
doubt.
yeah.
But they will sell you an out for like what is it, £100 a month or some crazy.
Oh yeah, like the
What?
Some crazy
yeah, the
rate.
membership.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. I hate being on it. Sometimes you meet some cool people. Usually you won't.
Yeah,
And
most
I
of the
think
time you won't.
it's there's a very unfortunate precedent with online dating where it's just you're seeing everyone's own idolized version of themselves, and you can very easily find when like there's just you can see offs being broadcast immediately. I think a lot of the time because there's a very natural human tendency to talk yourself up online because
Yeah, you put
ultimately
your best foot forward.
ultimately there's also no consequence behind it because you have the shield of the internet,
Unless you meet them and
which
they're
I
10
think is a
centimeters
crazy
shorter.
thing because
Oh
it's
my
ghosting is so easy.
Oh,
Ghosting is-
Yeah,
is
what do you guys
laughably-
think about ghosting? Do you ghost?
Ghosting is laughably easy.
Yes.
You can do it with
It's-
zero consequence
Okay,
Yeah.
and like
Yassmin's a
no
ghost.
repercussions. So
Yeah.
But do you do
I-
that? Is that something?
Okay, I don't like doing it because I think it's just disrespectful. Like,
I
it
think
doesn't
it's
take
mean.
anything out of your day to just text me.
yeah,
I don't want to talk to you. Or like, hey, this has
Yeah.
been nice, but to be fair, I have done it a couple of times unintentionally because I've like started talking to someone more serious, or I've met someone and I just
Yeah.
stopped talking to other
Me
people.
too.
And then, a week passes and you're like, well, I'm not going to explain myself to a person I've met once, And like,
You would just fade away.
yeah, exactly. But I
sometimes.
feel like
Yeah.
I've never made the conscious decision of, okay, if I want to stop talking to this person, I would like to let them know because I hope
Yeah.
that
I
they
always
would
try
do
and
the
let them
same to
know.
me.
I try to be transparent. Has it
Yeah.
happened? Yeah, absolutely.
I've
Do I
ghosted
try to not
once
let it
before.
happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
After
sure, of
all,
course.
I think it's a human tendency.
Because I know it
to-
sucks.
It sucks.
Oh,
It
yeah.
sucks.
So bad.
Yeah.
It sucks, and it's so easy. You're right, Kim. It's like the easiest
it's
thing.
the easiest thing in the world. You can literally drop it; they'll never see you again. Like you have zero chance of meeting this person in a city of 8 million people.
Actually,
you're never gonna see them again.
No, that's
why
crazy.
people keep treating you like shit, basically, because
Yeah.
there's
Because
no
they can.
accountability
They can get away with
Yeah.
it.
on
Yeah, they
dating
can get
apps.
away
There's
with
no
it.
accountability.
No, it's crazy actually. One of the stories, so we asked our audience about their London dating stories and all of that. So actually someone was seeing this person, from a dating app, and after they finished it off, they've bumped into each other 3 times.
Ah, that's my
Awkward.
worst-
Intentionally,
worst-
unintentionally. Is this a
worst
stalker?
nightmare.
What do we think?
I think that's number one. Fierce.
Also, in all
hilarious.
places, Soho,
Oh.
like central London.
Okay, they need to be going out in better places.
Yeah.
No, but like I'm
No,
trying to go
joking.
about. But like imagine you're trying to go
That's
about your
wild.
life, and you see this person once, coincidence, twice, creepy, 3
So how
times.
many dates have they gone
Destiny.
on?
Okay, so they were
Fate.
because this is a response. So it just said that they bumped into the person they were seeing 3 times after breaking it off
That's
in
how.
London. So like I know you mentioned 8 million people, but like
It does happen.
you never know.
Have you? I mean, I don't know if you guys have been here long enough to bump into like an ex or an ex situationship. Have you guys ever here?
I still haven't. I'm avoiding UCL like
Not
the
in
plague.
London. Thank God. Thank God. That's why I ran away here. I got to
Yeah.
escape all of mine.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
mhm.
Fair enough. That's why I moved.
Because back at
here
uni, back at my university, it's like 40,000 people. And like we managed to have the same classes, live on the same campus,
my
like run into
God.
each other at like the dining hall.
Is your ex-girlfriend chasing you down in a U-Haul truck?
No, no, I'm blocked.
Zhenia, what did you do, girl?
No, not what I did. What did
She's not the
she
villain.
do?
She's not the problem.
I'm never the problem.
You're obviously an angel.
I am.
Um,
My mom
I-
says I'm perfect.
You are perfect. I say you're perfect.
Thank you.
No, I have bumped into an ex once.
Yeah, I feel like obviously you
Yeah.
would run in similar circles somehow.
Similar areas.
Yeah.
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 Also, like usually your dating apps will have a little like location radius. So like if I'm living in East London, most likely I'm going to be dating people that live if I'm
Exactly.
on the app,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
like North or Northeast London. So you
Here's a good
kinda-
question. What do you think about being friends with your exes?
Oh,
Don't-
don't get
Um,
me started.
Yeah, well, the
I don't think it's
lesbian
possible.
stereotype is they're all friends with
Yeah.
their exes.
Yeah.
which people have been saying is toxic. Some people have been saying is toxic.
Well, we're
What do
here to
you
clear it
think?
up.
What do you think?
Well, I'm friends with a couple of my exes,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's different for me because like why are you friends with your exes? And they always like go back to them.
Oh,
They're like, don't worry about it. We're just friends. I hate them. And then like no, like once, like this girl told me that, and then like a couple weeks later, she was like in my car, like I'm so sorry. I don't know why, but I love her, like crying to me. She's like, I'm so sorry. Like in another life though.
In
like,
another life,
That's
that
a-
was crazy.
It's a crazy parting shot.
Oh my god, I'm gagged.
Crazy. I don't know what I'd say.
I'm speechless. That's horrendous. That's
She hit me up 2 weeks ago, said her ex left her for a man.
This podcast just got so much juicier.
Diva tea.
Oh wow.
Wow, I want to do a whole separate episode on just your dating history.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meet unique people.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can see.
Yes,
No, but I think it depends on the nature of relationship
I think so.
to stay friends with an ex, because I think, let's say you were together for 2 years, but you were very full on, as in like you thought you could go the long way, like the long haul, marriage or not, but like you thought
Yeah.
you could be end game, and then you break up. I don't think you can stay friends with that person just because you've lived through so many things. But if
That's
there is
good
a
point,
relationship
actually.
where you've been together for a time and then you realize, hey, maybe we're better off as friends actually. And those relationships tend to be shorter, not necessarily, maybe it took you a while to realize, but you know, I think it all depends. It depends.
It does depend.
Very
Pardon?
No, go ahead.
I think it's my question is why? Like, why are you friends with that person?
Attachment.
What is it? But like, is that healthy?
No, it's
if you're
absolutely not
making a new
healthy.
attachment with someone else and you've decided to be also monogamous with them, if you have, then it's like, why?
I think it's because they know so much about you,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't want
Gotta
to.
let go.
It just depends on boundaries, because some people come into being friends thinking they'll get back together.
Yeah, no, and I think it's, at the end of the day, it's more of a personal issue that really needs to be sorted out in therapy. But I think at the end of the day, it is about wanting that attention and knowing you will get it from that person.
Yeah. I also think, like, if you've been dating someone for years and you end up kind of falling out of love and you kind of want to be friends, or I don't know. I don't ever really support the being like close best friends kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, no.
But if you
Yeah,
want
that
to be
sounds-
friends, like, sure.
Yeah.
It's also the easy
whatever.
way out of a relationship. Like, oh, we're like better off as friends.
Oh, yeah. Something I don't understand is if you date someone for a very short period and then insist on being their friend. Don't get that at all.
No,
Because I'm like,
no, they don't know you.
what? You
Yeah.
were only dating for like a month or two.
Yeah.
Why are you bringing that here?
Yeah,
into this
there
vibe?
are 8 million people in London. Go find someone else.
There's a lot of fish in the sea.
There are so many other people that you could be friends with. Why? Anyway, but that's just my opinion. What do you think, Kimmy, before we finish?
About the exes.
Friends, yeah.
I think there's a stigma against men as well about like having a girl ex be your friend.
Yeah.
Is easy dangerous ground. I think a lot of men are put under, I mean, fairly enough in a lot of cases, but they're like put under
I
this
was going to
blanket
say, is
where
it
like
a wrong stigma?
you're friends with your exes or your really close female friends because of, like, you're looking for something more.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case with, I mean, me and some others. I have my last ex, we ended it quite amicably. I've gone a pint with her while she was seeing somebody new, and I think she actually did a lot for me coming out of the relationship, ironically enough, because I met up with her and we talked, and I realized I wasn't jealous at all, and I was actually really happy for her.
Closure.
Which I think is really important. I think it was a much healthier end than my previous relationship, and I am glad that even though, while like we don't have that same level of closeness, and we're not even like close friends, like she's still there, and
Yeah.
I'm happy
She's
that
in your life
she
in some
I'm happy
capacity.
that she
I think
continues to
that's
do well,
perfectly
and I'm
healthy.
happy to see
Yeah.
her excelling, because
Yeah.
I will always want the most for her, and I think that's the most important thing you can take with you coming out of a relationship. It's
Yeah.
okay to not be best friends with your ex. I think it's perfectly okay and healthy to support them,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it shows that you're capable of not holding
Hating
spite
them.
Or resentment.
against
yeah.
people just solely on the basis that
Yeah.
you used to date them.
And I think it's also we are in our 20s, like this is 20s in transit, and we are in our 20s. So I think it's very interesting to see people develop in what they'll be in 10 years, what they'll be in 20 years. And I hope that some of the people I've dated, some of the people I've seen. I hope we stay in touch in this weird, like, kind of limited capacity, because I know I've heard their dreams, and you know, in 10 years I'm like, wait, you actually did become what you wanted to. That's amazing for you, you know. So I think it's a very interesting concept that I think we'll just explore more as we grow up, because at this point we are just trying to figure it all out. I think we've just figured it out, you know, we've just come into our early 20s.
Oh, we're still figuring it out.
Girl, I feel like we will be figuring it out for a while. At least I will be. So
like for well into our probably
because we are in
50s.
transit.
Yeah.
So on that note.
Yeah, on that note, guys, thank you for listening to this episode. We've hoped you really enjoyed all these stories. Make sure to check back next week for an episode about hobbies and interests. This was Zhenia.
Yassmin.
Rachel.
And Kim. So follow our Instagram.
yeah, follow our Instagram. We love ya.
See you next week.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Baby girl.
Yeah.
Let me see you do your dance. Let me see you twirl.
Okay.
This should be the intro for this podcast. Be like, this is how men flirt. What do we feel about that? Should we? Does everyone have a good pickup line in mind?
I can think of one.